This week in Ken's Tech Lab, we'll be upgrading the MK4 to the MK4S Part 2. Let's see how far we'll get. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the bench, everybody, and here we are. We have the MK4 right here. We've done the Y-axis on the last video, and if you didn't see that first, I would suggest you go back and watch the Y-axis upgrade kit. This one is going to be probably just as long. I'm going to try not to have it the full hour like the other one was. But I think we have the hardest part out of the way, I believe. It might not be. A little side note is that I wasn't happy after that video about the tension on the Y-axis. So I did take it all back apart again and make a little bit more slack in the Y-axis, and then tighten it up with the screw. Because it was all the way out and as tight as can be, there was no room in there at all. So I made that change. Put it back together. So I did that off camera, as that took another while to do. Now we're going to start off this week. This is going to be part 2 of the MK4 to MK4S upgrade. And we're at part 3, upgrading the LCD. And I believe mostly this LCD upgrade is going to be the name, not the actual. I didn't get another LCD with this kit. What I got was a piece of plastic that now says, instead of MK4, it says MK4S. Let me find that for you. Alright, there it is right there. Okay, so I believe that that's what we will be doing on this part of it. So it says we need the 2.5 and the T8 or T10. Has 2 different sides on it for this upgrade part. And so they want me to turn it over and start undoing the screws. And so what I'm going to do is get the second camera going, and we'll get close and personal with this. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. And I got the unit, the printer on its side. And as you can see, what we're going to be working with, if you can see that, would be the 2 screws here, and there's 2 screws up here to take this off. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing. And so hopefully I can get this camera set right. You can watch me work in this area, which you can. So if I knock it and shake it, sorry for everybody, but we have to get in there and do what we need to do, right? Alright, so it says unscrew the 4 M3x10 screws mounting the LCD to the frame. And we're going to do that now. I wonder if this will fit. I doubt it. Ooh, it will. I like really using a full screwdriver. Let's get that down a little bit more. Okay. Then using the Allen keys themselves, because I have more of a handle for these screws. It's 1 out. I'm going to take 1 out of each section, and I hope I don't have to undo the retaining wire retainers. I probably will. And I think what I'm also going to do is take off the wires off of there. So that's going to be this wire right here and a grounding strap right there. So we're going to just pull these out, pull off. It's probably easier said than done. Once these things get on, they don't want to come back off, and they might need a little persuasion. And I got that for them. Alright, got the two wires off of it. Now I'll take off the other two screws. So let me get this out of the way. Take off the bottom one first. So the top one is holding the whole thing. We'll push it in, and so it doesn't back itself away too much. Let's see if that's enough to pull a screw out. Not. Probably get it by hand, like that. Now we're going to hold the whole thing, go up to the top, and do this. And now I'm just going to pull this completely out. Okay. Get the screw out. And that disassembly is done. And they want us to pull it out. Don't pull on the LCD cables. No, that's why we took them off prior to pulling it off. It says carefully pull off or pull of the PE fashion cable. Carefully unplug the LCD connector, from which we've already done. And we've also taken away and taken off the ground cable. Both of these are right here. Okay. Next. Okay, now it wants us to sort of disassemble because we need to change out, stop this from shaking, change out this off of the plastic, but we're not getting a new other parts, like here's the knob. We do not get a new one. And I'm sure it's going to say to go ahead and unscrew the board from the plastic. Okay. Because this is MK4. It's no longer an MK4, it's an MK4S. On the bench of what we're working on. Okay, right there. Good. All right. So there's only one screw on this side right here. And I think this is off. The other one is actually here, right over the ground. You can tell it's going into plastic by the squeaking. The ground is also a separate little piece, so don't lose that. And we need to take that all the way off. All right, there's the ground. And remember, take the screw completely out, which is stuck on the board right now. And this is underneath. So let's take off the other two. of these should come off right here, so we know that's on the right side. If we have the reset button pointing down toward me. Okay. Now what it wants us to do, because this is actually stuck somewhat in the board right here, is go ahead and pop this whole thing out of the plastic. It's actually got, it's in little, there we go. Original PRUSA MK4, now a spare part. So this is also asking us what version we have. We have the newer version A, where the ground was on the top left. Alright, so let's get out the new part. We'll put down that, and I believe these are not needed now anymore. So I don't think they're going to give us new screws, so we'll kind of pop these screws out. Throw that over there. And here's the wonderful new original PRUSA MK4S. New reset button, and that's where the knob goes. So we'll put it in the same orientation that we had the old one. The difference now is instead of them being two separate pieces on each side holding onto the frame, it looks like a full, this is not a printed piece, this is a molded piece. So I don't know if PRUSA is starting to do molding manufacturing in-house, but this is not the same as it used to be. So the holes to hold it in are right there. And it looks like for here the holes do not line up. So, because this is going to go on like this, and so what we're going to do is put this back down, the same orientation, the reset button down. And then we also need, oh, we do get a new one. Look at that. I thought we didn't get a new knob. One new knob. Gotta have a new knob, right? Alright. We also need that one reflective piece that I talked about in the last video. So we're going to have to add the reflector back in on this new one, which is right here. There's two of them. So it's telling us that we have all the pieces and a new knob. Don't forget to grab the knob out. It's a new part. It also wants 3x8S T-screws, which are Torx. So let's find those Torx screws. I dumped all the screws out of the main bag, so I'd have them in separate bags. 3x5R, is that what we're looking for? No, 3x8S. 3x8ST. Found them. Alright. So we're also going to need, we're going to be putting in these screws. Now, these screws are not the like the other ones, the M10, M310, something like that, which are just a regular screw. These are for plastic. So you can tell we're going to be going straight into plastic. Let's see. We need 3 times 12 STs. And I'm going to think that these are all black. 3 times 12 STs. There we go. Got those two. Those are longer. Still for plastic. Same thing as the other ones. And it's showing us everything that we need to have laid out. And it's going to show us the longer ones. So we have all the screws. Installing the reflector sticker. So we're going to do that now. And that goes just like on the other one. It goes down on the bottom. So that sticker is going to go right here. So this one's kind of different. Instead of having a full groove, what they did was they put slats in there for this curve that was on the other one. The other one had a full kind of curve on it. So we're going to see. Use the other one. So I think they give you a spare just in case you mess up. Because this is a one-piece kind of thing. And let's put it on now. So we're going to move the board over just a little bit. We got that here. We're going to take off of the sticky back. Peel it up. And we're going to stick it right here. And it gives it like a little bit of a like inner, like that. Okay. All right, that's in. So we do have a spare, just in case you messed it up. And press the reflector sticker strip all the way into the gutter so it adheres to the xLCD cover. All right. Next. So it looks like we're not going to put this directly in. We're going to put the board directly into the back cover. It's showing that it slides underneath this ridge right here. So I'm going to hold this out like this. The ridge is on the top. I'm going to orient it the same way as the picture shows. And it's going to be up. We're going to go underneath 2 flanges. Okay, all the way in on both. And we're lined up with the holes, like this. Alright, so that's your LEDs here on the board. You have your reset button right here and your knob and enter key right there. All right. Next part. So what we're going to do is going to enclose this into the actual thing. So this is, I think, a lot better than the older version. They really stepped up with this, and it kind of snaps into place. Right, you still have your LCD there. You still have your part there that you plug for the ribbon cable. And then your knob goes there. So just place the LCD cover on the organ. So let's close press through the hole in the cover, which I did. Okay. From the back of the xLCD assembly, secure all parts together using the 3 T8ST. Through the opening of LCD support, place, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, they want the 3 screws, not 4. So, as you remember, when we took this apart, the 4th screw right here has the ground cable going to it. So it doesn't want screws into that right now. It just wants 3 of the 3X8ST, which should stand for Torx. Now there's a lot more. There's a few more here, so this is probably, these screws are going to be used in a few other places. Since these are now Torx, I do have to find the Torx driver. So there's that, and the Torx driver has 2 sizes, one on one, one on the other. All right. So we're going to put 1, actually 2 on this side. With my big hand, sometimes it would be easier there we go. Too bad they don't have both sides with the Torx on it. I don't think none of my other screwdrivers will fit this. This is Torx. No. I'm seeing if I had a real size driver for this. I'm sure I do. And I think I'm going to go get it. Because this is going to be a pain in the butt. Nothing that a fix-it kit wouldn't have. So I'm also going to put one on the other side, so I'm not holding this down all the time on this side. But we're not putting it in the place where we need to put the ground. That's going to be something different. Okay, all those are in. The iFixit tool was a lot easier than trying to use this. Alright, what's next? Okay, those are both in. Now, what does it want? Center the PE fashion in the opening and secure it with the 3/8 ST screw. Okay? So they do want us to put the 4th screw in. And it is going to be with the same size screw. And that is going to be the ground. I call it just a grounding. They call it a FASTON, and I just call it a ground. So this is going to be fun. Try to get this in the hole. Oops. There we go. All right. And then that last one went in, and you can see it's leaving just enough to slide that fastener off over it. All right, that's all back together again. I do like the new design. It's all, you know, plastic is not printed, that's for sure. All right, oh, we have a step 10, put the knob on it. And we just showed with the new knob. There it is. And it's going to go in. And there it is. It actually looks very nice. All right. So they actually did a full like a whole 2 pictures and a whole section just for this knob to go in. So going right over to 11, right? They want us to put the cables back on before we put it back on the frame. Now that means that I probably can't reach it after it goes on the frame. We will test that out. So there is the connection to the frame. Adjust the camera so you guys can see this now. Okay. So this goes on the frame right here. And sure, there's plenty of room to put it on, but I don't think I can get to that back, this background. Okay, there are 4 holes in the front of the plate of the printer's frame. Use the 312Ts. Okay, so we're going to use the longer screws. Put these away. And we're going to get out the, what are these? 3x12 STs. T for Torx. Okay. So put these out on the bench. Now, if I put this in here now, I'm going to have to make sure that I don't pull it. Yeah, that I can actually put in after the fact. This I'm going to put in now. Yeah, that's in. Because I don't think it got to the ground as easy after it. So what I'll do is I'll just put this up and over. We'll take 1 screw, and these go right into the plastic. Okay, we'll take 1 on the top. Start. Okay, and I'm going to take the screwdriver and drop it. Okay. That's a little harder to go in. Okay, I'm going to need a better screwdriver than this. This fit in here. Will. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Now, I'm using Linus's screwdriver, which I showed this on the channel of the screwdriver with its ratchet. There we go. That's tight. I can also get through the wire, I think, a little bit easier. That's tight. So I do have two nice tight ones in there now, so nothing's going to go anywhere. So now let's put in two more. And I believe the hardest part is going to be the top. So it's right in here. I know it's hard, you can't see it, it's hard to put in the camera because then the camera would be my way and then I can't put it in. Okay. Get it started by hand so we're not cross-threading. Of course, there is no threads. It's actually making its own. Now this is going to be a little bit more of an angle. And I don't think I get to it from the top. No, there's no way. So we might actually have to do this other screw with that Torx. So what we're going to do is do it the slow way. Hey, this is Ken in the future. I was actually editing the video and remembered I didn't do an outro. I also didn't show the finished product, so let's get back to it. So here we are. We're going to do this live on here, and I'm going to use my my Action 4 cam to do this one. And I actually plugged it back in. Here, let me show you. Okay. And what I want to do is, what we've done so far is that we've changed out and put the screen back on, and it's nice and tight. All the screws were in. I had to use that little, I don't even know where it is now, hex driver. Here it is. This one right here. To finish those last two screws. And that was not fun. And it was aggravating, actually. So as you can see, we got the new knob on. We were able to get it in. If I go into control and I go into move axis, and we redid the Y axis, and you can see everything works fine with the movement of the Y axis. So that's good. We haven't broke anything so far. I'm just going to bring this back up to the original PRUSA. And as you can see now, it says MK4S. On the next video, we're going to be actually replacing a lot of parts in the hot end. So you can stay tuned for that. But back to me. Hey, thanks for joining us. This is Ken with Ken's Tech Lab, and like always, stay awesome.